everybody, this video is going to be on the female experience in Army basic training. I know that when I enlisted in the military in 2010, I knew nobody that was a female in the military at all. Didn't have anybody to turn to with all those questions that you have before you leave for basic training, from as simple as what kind of underwear do I wear to how much time do I have to get ready, just little questions like that. So I wanted to make a quick video just explaining my experience at basic training, and hopefully if you are considering the military or if you are already leaving for basic training at some point, you can kind of get a better understanding. And if you have any questions besides what I talk about in the video, you can feel free to either tweet them to me on Twitter, and I'll link my Twitter username below, or you can leave them in the comments below and I can do a question and answer video at some point answering everybody's questions. But because I have so much to talk about, I may talk a little bit fast just so I can fit everything in. But like it said, I am in the military. I'm in the Army Reserves. I'm in the National Guard, which is a reserve component of the actual Army. I went to basic training with everybody else that's active duty Army. It's one basic training for the Army, and that's at, well, there's tons of different places, but I went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I had so much fun at basic training, so I'm just going to preface that my experience, not the same as everybody else's. As a female, it's a little bit different going through basic training because I don't really know. I feel like a lot of females take things personally and don't have the mental toughness that males have. I didn't, that's for sure, but I just learned to deal with it and to cope. So it made me a better person, and I'm so glad I did it. It was a fantastic experience. But starting off with reception. Reception are the first 3 days of basic training, and that's when you do all your in-processing. You don't have drill sergeants yet, so you kind of are eased a little bit into the military life. You get all your shots, inoculations, you get medical exams, you get issued your uniforms, all the paperwork. Everything's done in the first 3 to 4 days. Sometimes it's longer for some people. It just depends. You don't sleep much. That's your first initial realization that, oh my God, I'm not at home. I'm not around my family. I am homesick. Everybody feels so homesick and so just exhausted. Everybody's going through the same thing though. There's just tons of soldiers around you, and it's freaky, but you just kind of learn to make friends with the people around you. That's my biggest piece of advice to you, is use your connections with everybody around you to get through it. I made some incredible friends, and they were the reason I made it through basic training. There were days where I wanted to quit. There were days that I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And there's no quitting in basic training. You can't just say, I quit, I'm going home. It doesn't work that way. You signed a contract. If there's a medical emergency and you have to get sent home, that's different. A lot of people claim the crazy card where they said, oh, I'm going to kill myself. Don't do that. That's the biggest mistake you could ever make, because you just end up staying even longer. They put you in a mental institution. I don't know. I've heard terrible stories about people who tried to pull the crazy card, and I know there are people that I started off at in basic training and they didn't make it all the way through, and they are embarrassed, and it's just something that doesn't look good. So if you're not ready to join the military, then don't sign up, don't enlist, because you're just going to hurt yourself in the end. It looks terrible to future employers that you dropped out during basic training in the military. It looks like you can't handle things, but that's besides the point. So after reception, after those first initial couple days, you are sent to meet your drill sergeants. So you're divided into platoons, which are like, I think my platoon had like 40 something soldiers in it. So you're divided into platoons, and you have something called shark attack, where your drill sergeants basically scare the living blah 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 out of you, because they want to intimidate you and kind of make you fear them a little bit, because that's what they need in order to teach you. So every platoon should at least have a female drill sergeant. Honestly, in my opinion, I prefer the male drill sergeants, because the female ones seem like they have something to prove. And I don't know if it's true for all female drill sergeants, but they seem to be a little bit tougher, a little bit meaner, and a little bit more catty. I prefer the male drill sergeants, but there was one drill sergeant female drill sergeant that I absolutely respect and adore, and she was just the most amazing human being ever, and everybody loved her to death. But in a respectful way, not like I want to be her friend way. She was just a model soldier, and we all aspired to be just like her, which is fantastic. So when you first get to basic training at your actual site, you're divided up into bays, which are these big long rooms with a bunch of bunk beds, and you're assigned to a bunkmate. My bunkmate had a similar last name to me, which is kind of cool, and you start to make your friends right away. So you see whose bunks around you, and you just say, where are you from, where are you from, and talk to people, because those are the people that you're going to be relying on for the next 10 weeks. Those are your friends, your family, everything. Basic training was hard because a lot of females, in my opinion, take things personally, and that's something you cannot do. You have to get over that, because I remember my first day, we were headed to the chow line, which is like the line when you wait to get your food, and I made the mistake of looking at a drill sergeant in the eyes. You're not allowed to do that. And he came up to me like this close to my face and started yelling at me, "Hey, Private, what are you doing? Like, why are you looking at me? Am I pretty or something?" I wanted to start crying. I was so freaked out. I didn't know what to do. It was like my first real day in the Army. And something in me just kind of sucked it up, and I just took my pride and my humility, and I just looked down and just kind of took it. I just let him yell at me, because that's what you have to do. You get broken down and then you get built right back up by the military. You do a lot of push-ups, you do a lot of exercising, but think of it this way. You're going to be in the best shape of your life after basic training. I was in the most amazing shape. You work out every morning except for Sunday mornings, so you wake up about 5:30 in the morning. You take your shower really fast, or you could take that at night before you go to bed. Showers are quick, showers are cold. You have no sense of, like, I don't know what to describe it as, but you shower in a room full of girls. So if you are embarrassed about your body, you better get over it, because you learn to deal with it, and it becomes less and less and less of an issue, which to the point where you don't even realize that you're doing it anymore.